So we're currently over on the dairy side now. As we're heading down this staircase now, we're into the opposite side of the basements. We've just recently done the basements below the parlour. Now, there would have been a connecting door between these two parts of the basements. There isn't anymore. First and foremost, we've got shelving put down here. As I was saying, over on the opposite side, it was used for cold storage. So coming off, especially from the dairy, this has got all kind of cupboards. You can see the slatted shutters that they've put on it, the shutter doors. It would have had, fixings down here for actually, having shelves for butter and cheese and whatever they want to put down here. But below that, or behind that, should I say, you can see where these bricks are rounded. Now, these rounded bricks are the same over on the opposite side, and these are from 1624. We can then see more Victorian bricks that have been added in, and the mortar that's been added in here. That is where a doorway has been blocked up. You can see between here and here that would have actually been the location of a door, and that would have taken us round on the left-hand side to essentially where that first door is as you go into the main kitchen.
The original door.
Yeah, the original, yeah. So we'd have been able to walk through here, go round into the main kitchen, round to the very end there itself, and get down to the that end room. However, this is the location on this side where the spiral staircase would have come down. So if we continue walking along here now, we're walking here on our left-hand side. We've got a Victorian door frame that's still here. Once again, cold storage in here. You can see the recesses that have been added in. We can even see the remnants of another shelving unit being added there. This is just another little cupboard, kind of a cupboard space that's been made. We can actually see just above here, through the top of the ceiling, you can see a little bit of light peeking out there.
Oh, yeah.
That light itself is the light from the oratory lamp. So that is where the back door of the original 1624 building is. But yeah, you can see there from the basement, through that opening, you can actually see where that shelf is, which is amazing, really. One thing I would say is if the light was better, that actually has remnants of wallpaper from the brew house, which it's from about 1930s, I'd say, floral wallpaper that's still on the wall that you can see through that crack. When they did the works in 2011, I think it was, or 2010, they took all that off, and I managed to actually be able to look at that wallpaper, which in itself shows that the brew house, which was pulled down in 1969 by the Ministry of Works, was a cosy living room down there in that bottom space. It was a wallpapered space. It was a cosy place to be.
And you'd have accessed the first floor from what is today the corridor outside the two bedrooms. Is that right?
Yes, that would have been the case. That would have been the top of the brew house. Yeah. Below that, you'd have probably been able to access that from the actual door from the oratory, and maybe from the dairy as well. Yeah. But then if you walk through the final archway, and at this point I've currently met it at my eyebrows, so I'm kind of nearly having to bend my head because
even I'm having to duck through that one. Yeah, okay.
And then you'll come to the next archway over on our left-hand side, and you'll start to see this circular shape to the room. And this is where that spiral staircase would have come from. Once again, you can see modern bricks put in here to keep that up. Those columns that they've had to put down in here, just keeping that roof and keeping the ceiling here, obviously in good nick. The spiral staircase would have gone from there, and that would have gone up to the next door to the parlour. And you can imagine next door, we've got that fire roaring on the go. We've come round to this end, which might be a bit more prep work. It might be a bit more storage over this space. Walk through here, walk onto up the spiral staircase, and then you're going to be feeding whoever's in the parlour from there. And this is your kind of passing space. This is your back corridor before where you go to the main kitchen. It'd be phenomenal to see it, wouldn't it? Just to really go back in time and just see that.
So really, from 1624, probably well into the 1700s.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then where we're currently standing now, once again, you can see just remnants of things. Really, it's quite difficult to say what these kind of Victorian structures are on the floor. Once again, I just think it's shelving of some kind. And then, same again. Over the opposite side of the wall now, you can see once again the long bricks that I've put. I mean, that's near enough got a whole giant pebble in the middle of it. Yeah. But it's nice and light down here, even though we've got electric light down here now. It is light down here.
It's certainly lighter this side, isn't it?
It is. But once again, you can see where the windows have been made smaller later on in the Victorian period. They would have been bigger in the 17th century, and you can see where those would have actually been.